The idea of acting and facing the camera was so good, but then when you actually face the camera and when you're there as a child, you don't want to do that. He is like a child on set, like literally like a child. Like when he's directing specifically, like I'm talking about when there's a cut, he goes and he hugs his actors and he'll be like, oh my god, this is the best shot I've ever got, like he's literally so happy like a child. I'm trying to build something up right now for Nan, and I'm actually trying to make a lifestyle brand where everything is available, but also affordable.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ByItsOwn Interviews. This is yet another Tuesday talk, and today we have with us Nanaki Asthana, who is an actor and an entrepreneur. And I'm sure that she's going to wear many hats as she enters this industry and creates a name for herself. So, as we start this conversation, let's welcome her. Hi, Nanki. Welcome to ByItsOwn.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. The pleasure is all ours. We're so excited to have you.
And that was a great intro. Oh my god.
Yeah, so we have a
Yeah.
lot to talk about. And God, I have so many questions right now. But what I would really like to start with is why acting? When did you know that, मुझे actor बनना है?
Um, actually, so my father was an actor, and I would go to film sets with him, and he did a lot of television as well. So just looking at him at that time, so I used to just go and look at him, get his makeup done and eat set ka khana and all of that. But but then eventually when I saw how it all works and the process and everything, I just fell in love with it. I just fell in love with the camera, and I knew that I want to be in front of the camera. So of course, I mean, it was really hard for my father as well. My father doesn't come from a film background. My grandfather was a lawyer, so getting it, like, fighting for his career and then getting into this industry, it was like a different game altogether. So watching him work so hard and his love for cinema actually made me fall in love with it. And yeah, that's when I thought I just want to do this. I want to act. I want to be in front of the camera.
So when did you start auditioning and when did you start, getting the kind of stuff that you wanted to? Like,
Oh
how
my
was that
god!
journey?
Remember when I started auditioning? I think I was 6 or 7. Like I've worked in a couple of ad films as a child actor, and I just hated it. I don't know for what reason. I mean, like, the idea of acting and facing the camera was so good, but then when you actually face the camera and when you're there as a child, you don't want to do that. I remember, like, the ad films that I did, it just happened out of nowhere. Like, I remember my father telling me that, oh, you have to go for this audition. So I did an ad film for Idea,
Okay.
and it was the IPL time, the IPL campaign, the string of ads that they make for their
Right.
campaign. So I was playing this like, it was a brother sister ad, and I was playing this kid playing cricket with her younger brother. And I was so annoyed the day, like, we were supposed to go for the audition. I was so irritable, and I was like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to go, I don't want to act. Like, why are you guys taking me? And my father was like, no, I think you should try. And it was just like the studio that I was supposed to go to was just like it walking distance from my house at the time. So I went there and I auditioned for it, and I was in such a bad mood, and I was like, I just am not going to get it. Like, I've done so bad and I just don't want to act. I don't want to be heard. I don't know why my parents are forcing me, and I got it. I
Oh,
got it. Yeah, I got it. And then it was like the number one ad. It was a TVC. So it was like,
okay.
at that time we had TVCs, right? We didn't have digital ads.
Right.
Like, YouTube and all was not a thing then.
Right.
I was like 7 or 8, I think. And it became like a thing, the ad really did so well at that time. And that's when I realized, oh my god, like, yeah, actually, there's something here. I can actually do this.
Absolutely.
But then obviously, I stopped auditioning because I wanted to focus more on my studies, and I wanted to, like, take that seriously till at least till I finish my 10th standard, and you know, get into college and start doing theater, and that was always the plan. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, just get out of school and start doing theater, because that's how my father started, and that was his journey. Of course, my journey has been totally different because of the circumstances, but I have loved every bit of it. So yeah.
That is great. That is great. Thank you for answering it so beautifully also. You said that you had certain circumstances, and that is why your journey was different. So
Yes.
as per our conversation, you told me that, like your dad passed away when you were younger. So how did his demise influence your decision? Because um, he was someone who fought to be an actor, right? Because his father
Yeah,
was a
he did.
lawyer. So
Yeah.
when you had the same decision and you went up to your family, what was their reaction? How did things change for you after his demise?
Actually, nothing changed. Because my mom always had an idea that I wanted to act. My grandfather, my mom's father, he pretty much is my father now. After my father passed away, so he's been super supportive, and he's always told me, like, do whatever you want, whether it's my, it's my company, my business, or my acting career. Like, he, every day I wake up in the morning, I call him and I give him updates about what's happening. So, my
Wow.
family's been super supportive.
That is great. That is great. I mean, of course, when you talk about an industry like this, your family support is so important because
Yeah,
there are a lot of
yeah,
ups
yeah.
and downs,
बच्चों
like
को
any
लोग
other
बोल
industry.
अपने बच्चों को माँ बाप बोलते हैं कि बड़े होके इंजीनियर बनो, डॉक्टर बनो, ये करो, डिग्री ये वाली करो, आर्ट्स मत पढ़ो, कॉमर्स मत पढ़ो, ये करो. मुझे बचपन से यही बोला कि बेटा एक्टर बनो. कोई बात
I
नहीं,
wish for
एक्टर एक्टर बनो, इट्स ओके. माय फादर वाज लाइक द कूलेस्ट फादher ever. I miss him so much. Yeah.
that is so nice. It's so sweet to get support like that because I know a lot of people who don't, and
Yeah.
without your parents' support in any industry, to be honest, I don't know how people find it
Absolutely.
really difficult.
Absolutely.
So
Wherever I am today, it's because of my parents. Definitely. Like, even when Papa's not here today, I still feel like he's there, and he's actually guiding me through. And
absolutely.
I mean, all his values and everything is still with me. They're all intact. So that's never gonna go.
Absolutely. I think you radiate a lot of confidence also. And I'm sure that somewhere comes from your parents and, their trust upon you. So we also know, like, from our research that you have you've assisted Anurag Kashyap.
Oh,
And yeah, I don't know why I use the
yeah,
word intern. You assisted him. So what was
yeah.
that experience like? I know that he's a very different kind of person. He makes different kind of films.
Oh my God. You have no idea. He's the most fun person I've ever met in my entire life. Like, he looks like this serious kind of guy because of the kind of films he makes.
Right.
But he is not like that at all. He is like a child on set, like literally like a child. Like, every time he, when he's directing specifically, like,
Right.
I'm talking about when there's a cut, he goes and he hugs his actors, and he'll be like, oh my God, this is the best shot I've ever got. Like, he's literally so happy like a child. And I've seen that, and I've seen how he is with his actors, which is incredible. He's so loving. Like, it's like the entire unit becomes like a family there. Also, like,
Family.
on
Right.
set, it was a different experience altogether. Like I said, he's like a child. So working with him was fun. And I remember this one time he called me, and I thought he's calling me for something really important. He literally called me on my phone. And I was at the base, the costume base, and I
Right.
came back to set. And he said, listen, come here. And I said, yeah, tell me what happened. He's like, can you please tell production to order Cadbury chocolate for everybody? Like, I want everybody to eat a Cadbury today. I was like, what happened? He's like, no, bas aise hi mera mood kar raha hai, just order na. So I was like, oh God, this guy's crazy. Like, he's literally called me from costume base. And I thought, there's some sort of emergency or a change
Right.
in scene or what, I don't know. And he's like, listen, please order Cadbury for everyone. And I was like, oh God, this guy. No, but I love him. Like, Anurag sir is like, I owe everything to him today. Like, whatever I have learned, uh, like, I owe it to him. Definitely. I mean, It's been a beautiful experience working with him.
Right. And what has been maybe one of your biggest learning with working on him specifically on set? Seeing how he works, anything that you've registered or anything that you've taken from your time with him.
So basically, the one thing that I learned from Anurag sir, and like working on his set, the one thing that I took back is definitely the relationship between the actor and the director, and how an actor is supposed to be, because there are so many actors together. Like, there is an entire crew of actors, and everybody is different. So the way he treated his actors and the way the actors were with the director, I mean, that relationship is something I saw and learned, I observed. And I think that's the reason today I would say that I am my director's actor. I definitely feel like I want his vision to come to life, and the best part about him is that, if he's not satisfied, be it anybody who tells him ki, it should be this way, he will not care. If he's not satisfied with his scene, if he's not satisfied with his actors, he's going to go there and he's going to tell them, no matter how bad it sounds, or even if an actor is having a bad day or whatever, I mean, he doesn't really care, because for him, his vision and his film is something that, you cannot question, that you cannot question his vision. So
Right.
I really like that about him.
That's great. That's great. And that's such a big learning for,
Yeah.
someone who just entered the industry and working with
Yeah.
Anurag Kashyap out of everyone. Um,
Yeah.
so we've known so much about your acting journey and everything, that has just fallen in place and you've worked towards.
Yeah.
I think you should tell us a little bit more about how your brand came into being. How was the pandemic for you? What was it like, sad like the most of us, or did you actually do something out of it?
I mean, the pandemic was a mix of everything. At times it was sad, and at times it was really productive, because I actually launched a brand in the pandemic. I mean, in 2020, we were all crying and we were all trying to make things work and all of that. And
I'm sorry, but
that's
I
when
love the way you said it. I love the way you said it. Like, I actually launched a brand. That's a very big thing, Nancy. So I think you take a lot of credit for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I mean, I used to think of this because I'm in love with fashion, and, like, I've been following these looks and, different kind of fashion. I don't really have a very common style kind of a thing. Like, if you've seen my Instagram and if you've seen all of that, I mean, I'm not really, I can't talk about what my style is like, but for sure, I mean, I wanted something different for the women of India. Like, what I wanted to initially create was for the woman on the go, basically.
Right.
Also, today's Women's Day, so we're talking about this. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful day. Happy Women's Day to you.
This is the
But I
same.
mean, I wanted to create something for the working woman, for the woman on the go who has a lot to do, whether it is to do with travel, or to do with work, or to do with household stuff. Like, you actually carry your world in your bag, and if you don't have the kind of pockets and the kind of actual utility stuff that you need, then I mean, it's a problem. And we don't have a lot of that in India. I mean, to get that kind of a bag, we have to, like, buy brands that are extremely expensive,
Right.
not so affordable. And I just wanted to create something that's sustainable, functional, spacious, at the same time super affordable for basically the Indian women. And of course, it took me months. My mom was with me all this while. I mean, traveling with me. We would take an Uber, and even in between, like, in the middle of a pandemic, like, we would go from here to town and by cab and carry our lunch with us, because obviously it was really difficult at that time to stop at a
Right.
restaurant and eat. It was like, I think what I'm talking about is August. 2020.
2020?
Yeah,
Right.
and it was really difficult then. It was like COVID was new, and we had no clue about where it's going to go and all of
Yeah.
that. So we were being very careful. So we would leave early in the morning, go to these different vendors, manufacturers, shops, that sold faux leather and also made bags. And then finally I found one, a manufacturer who made it in town. And then of course, like after a while you realize, like after 2 or 3 months, I had to change my manufacturer and go to another one.
Hmm.
And now I'm with him constantly, and he's great. And I mean, you know it's always about how you find that correct, um you know like the correct kind of karigar. We call it karigar
Hmm.
when
Right.
yeah. So it was about that. And yeah, I mean, it just happened for me.
Right. Absolutely. I think that is great. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever time you think is right for you is definitely right. So you must have thought about it only. Now that you actually have work, you're working on a movie, plus you have
yeah,
to take care of your business. How do you
yeah,
then manage both of them? Because I mean, when you're working on set, when you have a certain project, there are days that are blocked. It's like almost the entire day sometimes. So then
yeah.
how do
40
you
days,
manage?
30 to 40 days sometimes.
Right.
So
And it's like
I
so.
mean, how I manage it is not, I mean, of course, initially it was really difficult, but it's not that tough because my mom is here all the time, and she manages the office, and I also have an intern.
Okay.
So she then deals with the website and the emails and all of that, also social media. But even if I'm not here, everything goes through me, like my social media posts, because they're so personal. I mean,
Right.
whenever we put up something, it has something to do with women empowerment or body positivity or self love, self care, all of that. So whenever it's going out there, it goes through me. I write all my captions. I send it over. Like I just keep writing, even if I'm on set. I just keep writing some stuff. I keep doing my research. When I have in my free time. Usually people read, or people watch something. I do this. I do my research. I keep writing stuff. My phone is full of notes, like a lot of them. So I keep doing that, and I keep sending it to my intern. Sometimes I send it to a friend of mine, and he'll tell me ki acha, yeah, this is good. Like just to get an idea of how it will sound or what. And then I just put it up. So everything goes through me. Nothing is directly put out there without
Without your
me
presence.
being a
Right.
part of it. Yeah, yeah. Basically
Absolutely.
because it's so personal, and I want my posts and my social media to also, for my brand, to have a touch of me,
Right.
like that personal touch where people can actually relate to what you're saying. When you talk about like topics like body positivity and self love, that is something you have to be careful about, but also be extremely relatable,
Right.
like when you're talking about that. Yeah, yeah, because I have
Absolutely.
gone through that all my life. I was a heavy child when I was even in my teens. Like I was not a very even now, like I'm a curvy girl. I'm not skinny, and I'm really
Right.
very proud of it, and I'm very happy with my body. I'm very happy with the way I look. I remember as a child, of course, it's not what I would say. I was not very happy whenever I would look at myself in the mirror, or and I dealt with all of that, and I came out of it very beautifully.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
because I
great.
had very supportive parents who never told me, oh, you should lose weight, why don't you lose a few pounds, or oh, look at the other girls, and why are you not into sports or anything. No, I mean, I was not into the typical sport thing.
Hmm.
I used to play badminton, I would play throw ball, all of that, but I was never into like running and all of that. So my parents never forced me कि अच्छा नहीं gold medal लाना है, ये
Hmm.
करना है, वो करना है, कभी भी नहीं, never. So
That's
yeah,
really
that
nice.
way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I wanted to put that. I wanted that to be a part of my brand, where people know that. So my tagline goes, "You are enough as you are," which
Yes. I was
means
just gonna say that. Yes.
nothing, yeah, there's nothing that can stop you. Sky's the limit. and you don't have to, care about what people think. If you're happy with how you look, and if you feel sexy, you are sexy. It's that. Doesn't,
Absolutely.
yeah, doesn't change anything.
That's great, Nanki. I love the tagline as well. And I wanted, I was looking at the perfect moment to bring it up, but I'm glad you did. It's true that a lot of people go through, so many issues as teenagers and then they carry it forward when they're older. So I'm
Right.
really glad that you've let that go and, you're just like, I am who I am and this is how I'm going to be. I don't want anyone's opinion to affect me. So that is really
Yeah.
great. What are your future plans per se for Nan as a brand? Because you call it a lifestyle brand. So do you have any exciting things coming up? You want to introduce something
There's
more?
a lot. There's a lot coming up. In fact, we just launched about 18 new designs now
Wow.
this
Okay.
month. Yeah, and we are actually expanding to something bigger, which you will see on our Instagram very soon.
Stay
I
tuned.
mean, yeah, yeah. Stay
Yes.
tuned. And actually, I spoke to you about it, and I told you that I'm trying to build something up right now for Nan, and I'm actually trying to make a lifestyle brand where you everything is available, but also affordable. Like, I want
Right.
to basically create affordable luxury, be it anything. I mean, as a middle class girl myself, like, I've always been a very cautious person when it comes to price tags and all of that. Like, I've always like
Right.
thought about the price tag first when I go to a store, or if I go to a mall. I've always thought of that. And I mean, it doesn't matter if I like it or no, I'll first go and see whether it's on sale or whether I can actually afford it. So
Right.
I've done that all my life, and I want to change that for the women of our country. I mean, they can wear whatever they want. They get the quality, and they get everything they want for the price they want. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so I wanted to create that for the women of our country. And yeah, I mean, I wanted to be available in malls as well as like online platforms.
Right.
We're actually uh, like, we are going to launch next week on Amazon as well. So
Okay,
that's
that's
happening.
great.
And yeah, after that, probably, like, I'm also in talks with different platforms. And let's see where that goes. I mean,
Yes,
there is so much now that I can't actually reveal a lot,
that's
but
all right.
definitely
We'll include the
there's
links in the bio. Yes, for sure. We're going to be
yeah,
include all the links in the bio, whatever you
yeah.
can give us and you want to put out there. So, honestly, this has been such a fruitful interview. And as I said before, you radiate confidence. There is something about you, about the way
That's
you speak,
nice.
that makes me feel that I mean, I am sure of it that you will make something of yourself, and I know you know that too.
That is
So
so
just
sweet.
one, you're welcome. One final thing, if there was something you could, a few tips maybe, not really tips, words of advice that you would give to the young girls out there who want to start something of their own or who want to go in an industry where they feel is a little difficult, is a little different, what would that be?
So two things here. Like, you just asked me two questions actually.
Yes.
Um, so for young women who want to become business women, entrepreneurs, I just want to say, like, hold that idea with you, and don't lose hope. Never give up. You're going to find so many people who tell you you can't, but you can. And if I can, you can. I mean, it's, sky's the limit. Don't stop, and never give up. You're going to meet a lot of people on your way, but don't give up. And the other
Great.
part of your question,
Yes, the other part
uh,
of my question.
so like I said in the beginning of our interview, that your confidence comes from your experience and your work, definitely. And see, I'll talk about my industry. I don't know about other industries, but I can talk about if you want to get into the film industry, if you want to be a director, cinematographer, actor, assistant director. I mean, I'll talk about that. Everything comes from experience, and you're going to meet good people, you're going to meet bad people on the way. But you've just got to hang in there and learn as much as you can, and learn every single day. I mean, there's no stopping. You need to learn, you need to keep going, and they're going to be like rejections left, right, and center, and rejections that you cannot imagine. I mean, you know you're good, you know you've got it in you, but still at times you don't make it to that project or that film or that ad, whatever. But you still have to keep going. I mean, that's a piece of advice my father actually gave me. He worked for 35 years of his life. He started working when he was 17, and he stopped working when he was 52 because that's when his heart stopped. So he was working till the last day. I mean, I remember my father working till the day he died. So that's something that got to me, and I said, oh my god, like if he didn't give up, how can I? So I would want to give that message to all the young girls there, and tell them that nothing can stop you, and never give up, because it's going to be tough. It's going to be so tough. Oh my God. But don't give up.
That is great. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank you.
this piece with us. It means a lot because you're just being yourself. It's all personal and you're putting it out there. And I think that takes a lot of courage. So thank you so much for giving us your time today and for being so real with us.
Thank you so much, Sasha. It was so great. I mean, I really hope this helps a few young girls out there.
Absolutely.
And talking to you actually, took me back to my teenage years when I started off. So, yeah, definitely. I loved this. I loved doing this. And thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.